What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Meet the Critters. We're in the Backwoods tonight. We're not being real official with this. We're just having a good time because I am still exhausted. So this is just kind of a all-around summary of our trip to SRF. And to help me with that, we have Brian Aleksivich. Yeah. And we finally met in person.
Yeah. Finally met in person.
I'm not going to lie. I almost had Nicole record it, and I was going to run to you like a romance movie, like on a beach.
I mean, it was close enough.
It pretty much was.
I mean, I'm sure John has security footage. I can't believe the site isn't monitored. Well, maybe it's not. I don't know.
It has to be. But that and Toolman Tim fully picked me up like 3 feet off the ground. And I'm not a small dude. And I was all of a sudden in the air. And I was like, this is fucking great.
Yeah, we're all very small people.
Yeah, no, none of us are small people. But yeah, it was amazing and crazy. What am I saying? Words are hard tonight. A little too much.
Yeah, I mean, you. So at the end of it, I was exhausted because I started like the previous Wednesday with Toolman Tim's the stuff we had going on at his property. But you also have to be exhausted because you drove a significant amount directly prior and directly after the event.
It was 22 hours on the way down and 23 hours on the way back. And it was 23 hours on the way back because I missed our exit. And all of a sudden, we're driving. And it's like, this was the beginning. Like, this was in the first 6 hours of driving. We were still in Tennessee. And
yeah, it's a long state, dude.
It's a long state. We got gas, got back on the highway, and Nicole.
You went back to Nashville.
Well, no, not even that. Nicole was so excited because on the way down, we barely used the GPS. Like her dad taught her, like her dad road trips a lot. So it's like he had the atlas, she had the atlas out, she had everything marked, everything like written down, exit to exit. Yeah. So we used the GPS
like a prepper. Like she should have been at Self-Reliance Festival.
Oh yeah, she doesn't realize it yet. She does not realize it yet, but she's there. She still kind of holds it. I was like, "How did you explain this weekend to your friends?" Which is a very valid question.
I mean, it is. You drove 22 hours to go to an event. You got to kind of be like, "Yeah, I mean, it was this."
Right.
Why did you go 23 hours?
You can't be like,
because it was fun.
Yeah, pretty much. She said, and she's texting me back. She says, Homesteaders meets Die Hard, which was,
I mean,
yeah.
There was somebody else that thought that was about the same thing.
Right. Exactly.
How was that experience? What was your highlight? Let's start here.
Oh wait, no. Hold on.
I'll interview you. I'll interview you.
All right, fine. Let me finish this story first because I felt I was so bullshit. We got on the highway and I'm driving. So we used the GPS for maybe 15 minutes on the way to SRF. Like an hour after we left Nashville, we had the GPS on full time just to make sure. And I was like, we used it a little bit already on the way home. And I was like, I can do this. Completely blew past the exit. And all of a sudden I'm seeing signs for like, welcome to North Carolina. And we went through like the scenic route of North Carolina, had to circle back up around, get back into Tennessee, and then make our way up. It was tough. It was tough. But Nicole got us lost, and we ended up in Connecticut, which we were trying to avoid Connecticut. So I was like, not so easy, is it?
She got you guys lost too?
Huh?
She got lost too?
Yeah, she got lost too. So I was like, not so easy, is it? And she's like, we've been in the car for 14 hours. Do you want to start this? And I was like, I'm just fucking with you. It was longer than 14 hours at that point. We were so done.
Dude, I appreciate your wife for sure.
She's great, right?
Yeah. I mean, even more points that she deals with your shit.
Exactly. She has to be a special type of person to deal with me. And now you've met me in person, so I'm not just an imaginary internet friend. What you see.
Well, I mean, it was even more. It was even more ingrained. You didn't disappoint. You exceeded expectations.
Exactly. Listen, I will edit myself slightly in all of my content to get around all of the guidelines and everything. But this is pretty much me. I'm pretty much the idiot you see on all of my videos. And I love it. It's great.
And I love it. I am disappointed I didn't get to see the
Nicole is very not bad.
Yeah. That I didn't get to see the America tank in person.
I know. I thought about it. Now that we were there, I'm so glad we didn't. It was fucking cold. I wasn't expecting it. I was like, oh, we're going to the south. Awesome.
It did get cold. It's really nice here right now. Yeah. The mornings are chilly. Like we started wood stove fire this morning. It was probably like 45 out, and then it was like 70 and sunny in the afternoon. And I was like, okay, can I have this all year round? Like if I could find someplace that was like this all year round. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I started the wood stove today. Like in this back room is heated by wood stove. And yeah, I started it today. I was like, I got back here. I knew we were doing the show tonight. And I'm like, I'm done. I'm not going to sit in the cold anymore. Because I was toughing it out. I was toughing it out before we left. I'm like, I'm not getting the wood stove going. I'm not going to do it. And then it was like, yeah. All right.
So what were your
Good to have Tyler.
What were your expectations on your way to SRF? So if I was riding in the car with you and I was like, dude, what are you expecting? And you can't cop out and say nothing. Like you had to have some idea what you thought it would be like. What would it have been on the ride there?
I genuinely thought, like, I didn't know what to do. I'd never been to a festival like this at all, which now that I've been there,
there is no festival.
There is no festivals like this.
You could always say that.
There isn't. But like I'd never been to a festival in general. So I didn't know what I was walking into. I just know all of you guys were super excited about it. Because I think I bought tickets to SRF a month into making content, like a month into meeting you guys. You guys were all talking about this SRF, and I literally looked at Nicole and I was like, you want to go to Tennessee for a festival? And she's like, yes.
Content creator or not, I think it's indifferent. I think it's value.
Well, yeah.
I think the fact that you were an entrepreneur, whether you were doing content or not, I think that event was right for you. And I kind of pushed it at you. And after you started blasting away on the content, I knew it was even better. But go ahead. So you knew we were excited about it. So
I knew you guys were excited about it. I liked the sound of it. We had gone through some of the event, or some of the talks and stuff like that were going on. And I'm like, it seems pretty cool. Like my wife was like, she was somewhat terrified in the beginning. She's like, who are these people? Like, because like, she didn't know who John Willis was. Like,
yeah.
It's you look into it at first and it's like, where are we going? And then once I got into it more, I got more excited because I started meeting everyone. I started getting involved with other podcasts and other creators and other people I knew who were going. So then it got to the point where I'm like, I'm meeting a ton of these people for the first time. That was my like major point of excitement. Like when I was talking to people, when they'd be like, oh, what are you going to Tennessee for? It was that.
Well, right. That's kind of my question. Like Pip was saying, expectations are bad to have, but we all have not necessarily bad to have, but you don't want to go into something. It's better to go in not expecting anything and just enjoying it. But we all have, there's a reason you're going. If you've never been, you have to have some curiosity and some hope to gain out of it. So,
and honestly, my thought was, I'm going to be this little puppy dog that's following you and Tim around to everything and like sneaking up. Cause I was like, again, I was excited to meet you guys, but I thought I was going to be like this little puppy dog that what's Brian going to do? What's Tim going to do? Like, I guess I'll go watch Joe Sala. And that's this festival was a life-changing experience for me. In all honesty, like when you said that, I think you said that in your speech, like, or during your talk, like when you come to SRF, you will be here next year because this has changed you now in some way or another.
You'll come again. You'll be there
come
again. You'll come again for sure.
Yeah, right. Jesus Christ.
So good you have to do it twice.
Exactly. But no, it blew every expectation I had out of the water. I literally feel like I ran 2 marathons, like with how exhausted I am because I did not stop the entire time I was there.
Yeah.
Just running and gunning. And everyone who's watching, everyone who's listening, I cannot thank you enough for watching and listening. Because for the longest time I've said on this podcast and on my content and everything, I don't understand, like, I don't have a barometer for how good I'm doing, like, in content and things like that. Besides, like, you guys telling me and stuff like that. But I'm one of those people, it's like, I need to see it to get, like, what it is. And
sorry, I'm not throwing gang signs.
No, you're fine. I figured I had to deal with it before the podcast. The amount of people that came up and wanted to talk to me and knew me and like just wanted to say hi, shake my hand. I hugged a couple people. I had no idea who they were because they just came in for a hug, and I'm like, yeah, perfect. Let's do it. I couldn't even put a number on the number of people I talked to this weekend who knew who I was and followed my content. And I cannot thank any of you enough. It means the world to me. And it has put a fire under my ass of like, oh, okay, now I get it. Now I get it when Brian and Tim are like, you're fucking killing it. And I'm like, stop it. No. Like, it's like, oh, people are hearing this and seeing this. And it means a lot. So to everyone out there who's listening, watching, and all my content, thank you.
Yeah, it's easy to look at followers. It's easy to look at comments, and all it is a number. Like, yeah, I had 1,000 views. Your video had 30,000 views. You're like, okay, that's
right.
Great. That's great. Woohoo, 30,000. And then when you meet 20 physical people that actually watched it, actually watched it enough to recognize it and get enough value out of it to take their time to come and say hi to you. And then, I mean, no one came to that event to see me. I hope not. That was the only reason they came to that event.
You did great.
The amazing people that were there. Like, God damn, if you, no. But the fact that they took the time to come over and say hello, because they appreciate what you're doing, they find value in what you're doing, is different. I would take one person doing that over 10,000 views on a short. That it's so different. It makes it real. When you have someone tell you that they did something and it was successful because it was something that you gave them an idea or changed a direction or helped in some way. Unbelievable. The presentation that they did with John Willis and someone, I mean, that was I can't say what I want, what came to mind just because of the situation, but that was game changing. That's the ultimate ultimate reward for doing any of this, is someone that pulled a revolver out of their mouth because of a post you did. Like, that's what you hope to achieve. But those people that just walk across the parking lot and say, dude, I watched your content and it's fantastic, thank you.
I think it was 4 or 5 people came up and we talked for about 5 minutes, and they went, I know who you are. You're the Backwoods Butcher. I recognize your voice. I was like, what? That's yeah, it's crazy. But I love it. It's so cool. So yeah, so I basically spent all weekend meeting all of you guys, talking to everyone, and just networking. I tried to network my ass off, meeting everyone I could.
You got to skip the stare at the presentation year.
Yeah, we talked about that because, like, yeah, you had talked about in your speech that you gave, or just your talk, that it was like the first year you went and you sat and you watched every single presenter. You did some walking around, you met some people, but you were really like, I want to soak up everything everyone's saying and listen. And
I mean, I met people I already knew that I knew were going. I didn't meet anyone new. The first year I didn't introduce myself. I didn't talk to anyone new.
You did what I thought I was going to do.
I buried myself in the presentations. I was going to see Jack Spirko. I was going to see John Willis speak. I was going to see all these other people speak. I didn't realize that it wasn't about that.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And the next year, all you did was run around and talk to everyone. And that's what I did this year. I think I stopped at every single booth and talked to somebody. If it wasn't people coming to our booth and coming and talking to me, or just in the laneway. I can't tell you how many like traffic jams I made. Because again, I would just stand broadside and everyone would be like, shit, and try to get around because it's, but
I think I told Pip. So we had to go out of the truck or something, and he was going with me. And I told him, if we don't walk like we have a purpose, like we have somewhere to go, it will take us an hour, which is awesome. But when you actually have to achieve something, you have to put your head down and just walk like you have somewhere you need to be, because otherwise, like, people respect that, which is really cool. And you hate to do it, but sometimes you got to go get the table so Kyle can cut up a pig.
Exactly. Like it. And again, just the people there, amazing people, just amazing quality people. And I couldn't have been happier to meet all of them, but it was literally, if you needed to get back to the table, you had to put your head down and just walk at like 1.5 speed, just to show it's like, I can't talk, I have to go. And I've never experienced anything like that before. And it was like, I used you as a barometer as well, because I'd be like, where's Brian? Oh, he's doing the exact same thing I'm doing, which is talking to people. Okay, cool. Like we're on a good level of what's happening.
That's why you're there. That's why you're there. Right. And you have to make the most of it. It's 2 days. When you realize it, when you look back at it, you wish you had more time.
Yes.
So if you don't, when you go again, you realize from the minute you walk in, the clock's running till the time everybody's gone.
Oh, yeah.
And all the magic happens, and we all talk about how great it is to meet in person, and then we forget to make the most of the time we're in person. And it's exhausting. It really is. And you do need to take breaks, and you do need to get away. But I always look back and think I should have done more.
Oh, yeah. Like, so I had 23 hours to think on my way of leaving SRF.
Oh, I'm still, what is it, Wednesday today? I'm still like...
Oh, I'm still reeling. I already have a whole festival in Effingham, New Hampshire planned in my head. I already have the beginnings of something. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it'll be this year or what.
I mean, it's the perfect name.
What?
Effingham.
Oh, it's really great.
Like, you could play so much into that name. It's silly. Like,
it's great.
I know some people with some connections in New Hampshire.
So do I now. Again,
I had to go to Tennessee to find them.
Yeah, it's fine. But like, oh my, like just the level of people I met was insane. And it's the level of people that watch my content that have told people to watch my content. I almost shit my pants a couple times of like, okay, all right, that's pretty fucking awesome.
It's good. You're passionate about what you do, and you have a knack for doing it, and you enjoy editing. So you put a lot of time and pay a lot of attention to it, and it shows in the content you do. And people appreciate that. Content creators in specifically understand what goes into that,
right?
And they understand if you're just naturally good at it. They appreciate it, and if you're not and you make it look like you are, we appreciate it. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, someone that does it really appreciates it more than somebody like on a different level, beyond the great information, like the quality of what you do.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. I definitely do. Although I didn't even put my live video, I didn't even put it in the editing program. That one went
oh no, you wouldn't do that, man.
Yeah.
That doesn't need to be edited. Well, now take it and
clip it and do stuff.
Yeah, have fun.
Although I looked at it and it's like my face is behind that post like 75% of it. I was like,
yeah. Next time you might need a couple people holding cameras and getting film for you.
Yeah.
That would be cool. I think your wife would love to do that, I'm sure.
Just as I'm sure your wife loves to do that for you.
She would. She said her hands were sore after she filmed mine for me.
Right. And also, I have to say, I met Corey and she's amazing. She doesn't disappoint either. All those high Corys in the morning were just practice for that first day at SRF. And I got to say hi, Corey. It was live. It was great. I didn't make a big deal out of it, but I was dying inside.
Yeah, she holds it all together for me for sure. Yeah.
But
so what was your biggest highlight of the whole weekend there?
There's a couple. There's a tie there. One of them, there's a 3-way tie.
Oh, you're having a 3-way now. Jeez.
I'm having a 3-way. And if we include Pip, 4. If we include Pip, it's a foursome. No. Meeting Pip was great. Pip in real life is a fantastic human being, and he's just the best. But the 3 major highlights for me was, 1, meeting Joel Salatin, it was awesome. Like, it was a crazy experience. I completely fangirled out. I was a little bitch the whole time. You guys had to push me into it because I was so nervous. And when we walked away, I showed you my hand. It was like I was literally shaking.
Oh, the picture that Corey got of you smiling with Joel Salatin absolutely made my weekend. The smile on your face was like the most genuinely ecstatic smile I've ever seen.
I looked at it the first time and I was like, oh no, this picture sucks. Look at my goofy face. And then I looked at it again and I was like, no, I was just genuinely happy. Like,
oh my God, you were so excited.
Yeah. And again, I talked to him for 30 seconds to a minute, maybe.
We got to watch a private interview.
Well, that's just it.
One of our other idols. And
that one might be number 1. Meeting him was awesome. And it's like, I'm going to be able to say for like forever, I met Joel Salatin, and it was really cool. But there was a lot of running around after the roundtable. Tim had to run back and was looking for the tripod and everything, because basically Joel Salatin was like, if you want a clip, like a podcast real quick, like, let's go do it right now. And Tim was on it. Like, he was moving. And we were like running stuff out to the car. Like, it was at the very end. So we're running like the tables and whatever we brought. to the truck so we didn't have to worry about it at the end. And on our way back, there was no, we were just, I was like, I kind of want to still meet Joel Salatin, and Tim is with him privately right now. So first we went over to the podcast tent and they weren't in there. And then like Nicole looked and was like, is that them in the other little speaking tent they had? And we like just kind of stood there. We stood there for a couple of minutes, and then Nicole was like, why don't we just go sit and watch? And you and me looked at each other like, okay. Like, yeah. And then we were able to sit.
I could wait over here just as good. I'm a big boy. I could stand up.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, sit down. I mean, I'm glad we did.
And I honestly, when Tim made eye contact with me as I was like sitting down, and I literally just looked at him and went, like, we'll be quiet, we'll behave, like, because
I mean, I don't think he had to worry about that.
No, but we got to sit and probably watch the last 10 minutes of the interview, and it was so cool. I remember you and me looked at each other at one point. We're just like, this is so fucking cool. Like, this is so cool. Yeah. But again, like we were both like, I'm just so happy for Tim right now. Like, this is a great moment for his show and for him, of just like, this is something you don't get all the time. So yeah. that was awesome. And then I had 3, and now I forgot the third one. Oh, I ate cured meat out of the back of Jack Spirko's Dodge Challenger. That was pretty cool.
I mean, that is, I mean, I don't know if that's something you ever think you'll aspire to, but when it happens to you, it's pretty cool.
No,
you ate Jack's meat.
Yeah.
Out of his
no, if I just went and dropped that text, like if I just copy and pasted that text and put it into the Jack Spirko group, that would get, I'm not going to do that because I'm not going to be like be a fangirl in Telegram. But like, if I did that, the amount of uproar that would come out of that, of like, that's fucking awesome, would be.
That was pretty cool. That is definitely cool.
Right. Because I had been on Jack's podcast. I've listened to a bunch of them now that I've gotten into it. And it was just super cool to meet him, because I also know, we'll get into this in a little bit, like the hierarchy of all of the different creators in this group and who's helped each other and this, that, and the other. And I know Jack's at the top. Like, Jack's at the top of that. And to get to meet him was great. And I gave him a jar of bear lard to bring home. And he's like, oh, go put this in the car. Get over here. And I just followed him through the aquaponics system. Like, we walked over, and he just opens a cooler and pulls, I don't even remember what it was at this point. He just pulls his meat out.
Pastrami.
It was like a Turkish pastrami. It was had a spice to it. It was fucking delicious. And he just whips his knife out and just starts shaving chunks off the whole thing. And just like, I want to know your opinion. Like, how is it? And I'm like, it's fucking delicious. Like, it's great. And we like chatted a little bit on the way back.
It sucks.
Like, yeah, no, this is bullshit. Sucks. No, it was really good. But like, to have him be like, hey, try this. What is your opinion? Like, what do you think? Like, and I was like, man, that's pretty cool. And then like, we finally got to right under the awning to the building, and then it was just gone. I was like, all right, that's fine. Yeah, I don't need to hang out. I get it. But was still pretty cool.
He does a lot of people in.
Yeah. And then I immediately walked over to the tent, and I just said, I ate meat out of the back of Jack Spirko's car. And the wives went, and you and Tim were like,
I mean, cool, man. Perfect. Yeah. I mean, you ate Jack's meat. Good for you.
Yeah, and that's what you immediately said, and I was too happy to even hear it. I was like, I don't care. Don't care at all. That's still pretty cool.
Nice. Yeah, I was happy to push you to do that shit.
And I needed it. I thank you very much, because I needed it. Because
Corey did it for me. Corey did it for me when I first had to do it too. So
right. But I appreciate it. And you also had, for for most of them, you already had to step into, like, you've known most of these people longer. So you can do the, hey, how's it going? Have you met my friend Kyle? Like, you did that a lot, and I appreciate it.
I was your wingman.
You were my wingman. Yeah. Have you met Kyle? But
he's very cute.
He's very adorable.
He'll eat your meat if you want.
No, listen, you can bring me to your trunk. But yeah, no, it was great. And then just on that same level, getting to meet Jason from Kentucky Sustainable Living, like, in person, because at this point I think we had exchanged 2 emails, and I probably talked to Jason 6 or 7 times. We were trying to get a couple podcasts live there. They had a podcast set up, which I think next year is going to be a little more.
I think they're going to do it different. I don't think it. Yeah. I think it's just going to be open
with somebody there.
Yeah, like sign up for times to sit.
Right.
And if you want to get time with interview with them or that person, you can hop in or.
Right.
Yeah, I think that would be cool.
That'd be way better.
Having it just pre-wired and recorded and then uploaded to like a main drive that the creators have access to would be really cool. So you didn't have to worry. Like, that was the thing. Do you bring your iPad, stream it to your channel? Is it already set up to stream to some other location? I think it was an afterthought. We were going to do it live. You realized really quickly how busy you are while you're there.
Oh my God. Like,
that goes to the point of making the most out of your time. Now, Tim is really efficient in grabbing somebody and doing
for 20 minutes,
20 minutes on the spot, standing there with his 2 mics, just talking for 20 minutes. And that is a phenomenal way to do it, because then you're still building those relationships and you're not running around and
it's guerrilla podcasting. Like, he's a guerrilla podcaster.
It's unreal. He's very good.
I envy that so much, because I would look at him and he's like, I gotta go do a podcast with so and so. I'm like, okay, bye.
Yeah.
Because like me and Jason were like, no, let's definitely try and sit down and figure something out. And then, like, when we thought about it more, it's like, we had talked about doing my podcast and his podcast. And we were both like, that's 2 hours. That's 2 hours here that we don't have. Like,
you can do it like this.
Right. And this is better. This is better because we're both sitting in our respective places. Like, we're able to have a nice thought out conversation. We're not at a festival going still like in festival brain, because it's not the same. Like, you are all over the place thinking of 1,000 different things. I had to apologize to my wife after. I was like, I was not ignoring you. I love you. Like, but this place is nuts. But no, meeting him was great. I'm more than likely, we're going to try and figure out how to go to his festival next year. And
what's
have
the name
some fun
of
with that. Kentucky Sustainable Living. Sorry.
Oh boy.
There, we got it.
Jason's good shit.
Jason is great. I probably talked to him for 45 minutes on the way home. Like, he just we exchanged. I don't even remember. He emailed me back because I emailed him and was like, sorry, we couldn't make that work. We'll figure something out. Emailed me his number, and I texted him, hey, it's me. Like, ignore the Tennessee number. I'm on my way back to New Hampshire. Like, we'll talk soon and figure something out. Within 5 minutes, he called me, and we probably talked for about 45 minutes about SRF, his festival, Kentucky Sustainable Living Festival, and like next year. And then we shit talk a bunch of the big YouTube homesteaders for a while. That was pretty fun. But like, we were just talking like we've known each other for 15 years. And I think I've talked to him 2 times since I've been home. And I've been home for 2 days. Like,
right. Yeah.
He's just a good dude.
Yeah.
But again, all the different contacts you pick up is nuts.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure. And I need to figure out a better way of documenting that. So I'm scrambled right now to put all those connections back together in my head and reach out to people. And I know I'm missing a bunch.
I am absolutely next year bringing like a small paper pad and a pen. And when I start getting into a conversation with someone that is like, okay, this is substance, like, let's continue this, but do something after, I'm just going to hand it to them and go, name, phone number, username.
You know what? I heard a great idea, and I can't remember where I saw it, but I just happened to read it in passing or hear it. Somebody might have said it, that they get them to do, you just pull up your phone and you say,
I did see that.
Say your name and your screen name and your phone number or whatever contact you want, and say it, record it, and then have a conversation and talk about, and then you'll be able to put the name with the face.
So here's my problem with that. I'm a little special and I need it written out because I'm going to misspell it. I'm going to misspell every single person's name, every single username, email, every single time, unless they write it down and write it down correctly. Because even if they go, here, write this down, I'm going to go.
What if they spell it?
Yeah, but at that point, it's just easier to go, please write this, like, write all your stuff down so I don't mess it up.
Okay, dude.
Listen, you've met me now. You know I'm this way. You know that this isn't like
you're a special one.
I am, and I'm fine with it.
I'm fine with it. That's good.
It's like, look how far I've gotten. All right, we're doing all right. I'm a success story.
How far. Way to go, little guy.
All right. Way to go, champ.
Next year he'll come in 7th at the special race.
No one ever really wins. We just tell them somebody won, and it's fine.
If you ain't first, you're last.
Exactly. But yeah, this was an amazing experience, and I cannot wait for next year. And I already have plans for.
Are you going to come spring and fall?
In case my wife is listening, no, I'm not. But I genuinely thought about it today of like, I would probably fly down for that one and I wouldn't do a demo, but I would possibly, and I'm like, I can't even, we're still settling in and looking at the aftermath on our accounts from this trip anyway. We spent a lot of time.
What did you think of John's facility there?
We spent a lot of time in that facility, and left a little poorer, but not of the heart. John, they have some amazing equipment there. SOE tactical equipment. If you aren't buying their stuff, you need to, because it's amazing. Like, I've already washed this sweatshirt because I wanted to wear it again. It's because you ended up getting one of these, right? I think Nicole bought one. And then Corey was like, I think I need one of those. And I was like, I think I need one of those too. And
it's a women's, you know, right?
Huh?
It's a women's, you know.
No, it's not. Shut the fuck up. But no, it's super comfy.
That's why they're all pink and fluorescent purple, and
it's red.
Yeah, they made a red one too. You know, they make women's clothes in blue. It's not just boys.
You're not gonna do this to me on my own show. Son of a bitch. No, but even like their gear, like I got a new belt, and was able to buy. I've always had an issue because I carry my Judge, the 45 long call, and I know a lot of people would be like, "Why? That's a lot of gun to carry." But I'm in New Hampshire with open carry, and I don't really care. Oh, Gainsborough, what's going on? Good to have you. So it's only 5 rounds. And obviously I don't really want to use the 5 rounds at all, but I've always thought if I used all 5, then I'm screwed. And I never wanted to walk around with just like loose bullets in my pocket. I don't have a real problem with it, but they have individual bullet holders that Velcro onto your belt. So I bought literally I have it. So now I have 6 extra rounds that I just carry on my belt like a fucking modern-day cowboy. Yeah. Listen, you can laugh all you want, but if you want to have a duel,
You only need one.
I only need one, but I'll shoot you fucking 9 times because I have them. But no, and Nicole got bagged for doing some hiking with the kids and stuff like that. So it was but I think it was Dave who helped us out. We were like walking around in there, like she was gonna buy like this $200 ammo bag. And he walked over because he saw we were like kind of lost. He's like, "What are you guys doing? Like, let's talk about it." He probably walked around with us for a good half hour, answered every single question we had, and didn't like it wasn't like he was talking us into stuff. He talked, I'll say us. He talked us out of a bunch of stuff that it was like, you don't need to spend this money if you're not there yet. We're going to be here. We're going to be here forever. Yeah. Like, you can move up when you get to that level. But for it sounds like what you need, this is what you need. Yeah, I met up with him later and I gave him 3 jars of bear fat. And he was like, "You might have made my festival." And I was like, "You're welcome."
Nice.
But yeah, and then Tim brought us up to the speakers lounge upstairs where John lives. I was geeking out. First off, it looks like a Ripley's Believe It or Not. That's the only thing I could think of. Like, it looks like a Ripley's Believe It or Not. But
I think Ripley's would look up to that room.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But John collects a lot of skulls, and I was geeking out, and I sounded like a 5th grader at the zoo. Hippo, giraffe, like I was just pointing to every skull. I was like, "This is crazy."
And there's Nicole going, that baby skeleton is fake.
I know. I'm like, shut up. Like, what are you doing? He has one. That's still crazy. The only picture, she got 2 pictures. One was me almost talking to Joel Salatin. And the other one was her standing under the mermaid with its tits out. It's just a selfie of her with her head placed perfectly between the breasts of this mermaid that was hanging on the ceiling.
Well, I think we have one with you under it too.
Probably.
With Joel. Joel was
that's the other. Yeah, you guys took that. That was the other picture. Yeah, I almost met Joel early on Sunday because Nicole brought him up because knowing now John was coming up to meet him and talk to him. And I probably said like a word and a half. Like I had probably said something. Like he said something about a skull. And I was like, "Oh, that's a whatever." And he started to turn and talk to me again. And John Willis just came whoosh, right next to me and just like, "Hi, I'm John Willis," to Joel. And I was like, "All right."
I mean, he was hosting the event.
Right. No, absolutely.
And Joel had just got done with a tour. So
absolutely. I know my place. This is a small festival. I will meet up with both of you again. I think I stood there for another 2 seconds of just like, okay, we're going to leave. And I just walked away.
I remember it a little different.
Do you? Oh boy.
Yeah. You were over there and
I might have blocked it out.
You were like wobbling back and forth, like you were about ready to wet your pants before you went over to talk to Joel. And John came up and I was looking at some stuff, and John was kind of waiting to talk to him. And Kyle goes, "Is that a grizzly bear head?"
I forgot about that. I totally forgot about that. No, I went, "How many grizzly skulls do you have?"
Oh, yeah.
He goes, and that's when I really knew, because I counted 6. I counted 6 grizzlies, and he just looks at me and goes, 2, and then just turns back to Joel, and I went, "Got it." That's right. I forgot about that. I definitely blocked that out.
You're welcome.
Yeah. No. Now I'm gonna remember that for the rest of my life, and it's gonna haunt
me. It was fantastic, dude.
No, it was great. Haas has got a question down here. Question: if there is one thing you took away attending SRF, what would it be? Favorite. So we kind of went over.
I accidentally kissed Kyle and got herpes.
Yeah, you did that. You already had herpes. No, we already kind of talked about the favorites and stuff like that. Things you take away. The main thing I took away is there is such a fire under my ass to make all of this work and to continue to go to these festivals. Like, not just like, hope I can make it to these festivals. Now it's under my ass of like, oh, I could be like not an ass. An ass, that's not the word I'm looking for. You could be
an ass.
I could be an ass. I am an ass.
No,
like,
you are bringing value to.
Yes, I could be a value
to it, regardless of if you present or not by being there.
Right. So yeah. So that's kind of what I took away from it. It was like, oh, this could be something that I do a lot more and could enjoy. And with like kind of the entrepreneurial mindset and trying to figure everything out. And it's like, now that I am fully on my own with the shop and the farm and everything like that, you got to make money where money you can be at the same time. But as long as I'm able to make all these connections and meet all these amazing people while I do it, this is the most, leaving SRF. This is a good one. I thought about this on the way home. Leaving SRF is the most the words. Being a butcher, like, there's a lot of like big steps that you graduate in your head of like, okay, now I can do this. Now I've progressed to this, like in the level of how I work and how I do things and how I run or even before how you run your business, how just you work for someone, then owning your own business, then meeting your goals in your head. Professionally, leaving SRF was one of my biggest highlights of being a butcher, of being of value to a festival. And because we completely went past this, I did a butchering demonstration at this festival. We're 47 minutes in, completely went over that one. I did a butchering festival or a butchering demonstration at this festival, and there were some ups and downs, and we figured it out. And I think I did a pretty good job. Like, I think I did all right. It was about a 2-hour demonstration. I didn't stop talking the entire time. There was about 15 minutes before it actually started. We just started throwing paint at the wall and hoping that it stuck to figure everything out. There were some unseen circumstances. We'll go ahead and say that. And there were some unseen circumstances going into it that we didn't think of, but we figured it out. And it was great. Nicole counted, like, she said there was probably about 150 people that rotated through. Like, that's crazy that meant that number of people wanted to see me do that. And in that moment, I was like, man, I really wish I wasn't doing this. Like, just like how it felt inside. And I was like, nope, we're doing this. We're having a good time. We're going to figure it out. Wish circumstances were a little bit better with the pig, but we made it. So that was awesome.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. I kind of got you going, and I was like, he's got it. And I had to go do other shit.
I know. Yeah, well, that's it. Like, I know you stayed for a little bit. Pip stayed for a bunch of it, or he kept popping in and out. But every now and then I'd see someone I knew would all of a sudden pop in, and they make eye contact, and I'd be like, okay, we're good. We're fine.
Yeah. My beautiful wife sat in the front row filming me and had a big smile on her face the whole time, and that helped.
So Nicole took a lot of pictures and filmed a lot of things, and she's going to give me help. She's not going to listen to this. What am I talking about? So
especially not 50 minutes in, she won't make it that far.
No. Anyone who wasn't at SRF or doesn't know John Willis's property, the SOE compound, there's just things everywhere, sheds everywhere. And like, there were 2 sawhorses next to the shed in the pole, like next to the pole barn I was processing the pig in. And I look up at one point, Nicole's standing on something, taking pictures. I'm like, awesome. And I get off, and she goes, I hope you appreciate me overcoming my fear of heights to take video of you for your YouTube channel. I was like, what? She goes, I was 20 feet in the air. And I was like, I love you so much, honey. You did great. Then I walked over there after. I was like, cool, awesome. Thank you so much. And I walked over there after with her. And she's like, yeah, I was standing on those 2 sawhorses. I was like, those are 3 feet off the ground. She goes, shut up.
My fear of heights. Uh-huh.
But no, it was a great time. And yeah, I can't wait to do it again. I already know exactly how I'm doing it completely different. And now I know, now I've made enough contacts in Tennessee that I can make this better. Like I can do this way better. And Skanes girl, yeah, my first yes, the one that just got posted today was the video from SRF. About 75% of it, I'm behind a post, but we're living and learning. Now I can go, okay.
Go ahead. Yeah. Haas was asking what I did mine on. I told stories from the first year that we were on the road. We left Tennessee. We left on we sold our house. We hadn't even sold our house yet. We left our homestead in Minnesota, went to SRF last fall, and then just didn't go back, and then sold it after that. So I just kind of told three I think stories from the trip. I was kind of at the end of everything and had a half an hour and wasn't sure how it was going to go because I hadn't spoken in like 15 years. So it went well. I finally listened to it today and uploading it. So yeah.
Okay, now he's being a pessimist. He kicked ass. Me and Tim stood right in the front row and kept hitting each other going, he's doing so fucking good. You killed it. You absolutely killed it. So stop being a pessimist.
No, I was telling Corey earlier, like I wasn't unsatisfied with it. I'm uploading it to YouTube. I'm not like embarrassed by it by any means. I don't think I like did a shitty job. I just immediately saw room for improvement because I'm critical of myself.
Of course. No, I know exactly. I'm just giving you shit because I know I watched the first 5 minutes of my live processing video and I was like, I hate this. I hate every single bit.
I was happy. I know exactly what I wish I would have done different, like as I was saying it. So yeah. I kind of had that feeling while I was doing it too. So I know it's good. I definitely want to do more of it and do that presentation again and compare it.
Right. Yeah. I walked away from that going, well, when I come back, I'm at least going to do one, or I'm going to at least offer to do one presentation. And I was like, damn it. I was like, no, now it's bit me. Now I'm in. Like, now I'm in for life. Like,
thank you, Rachel.
Yeah, thank you.
Kyle's a Squatch too. If you saw pictures of us together, we're about exactly.
Some would say I'm squatchier than you.
Yeah, because you're thinner.
Yeah.
I got 20 years on you though. So just wait.
Right.
No, I mean 10 years. Like, what are you? 22, 24?
Yeah, I'm 31.
Okay, so 14 years on you.
Right. I was just saying in the level of hair. Like, I doubt you have a horsetail.
A what?
A horsetail? You don't remember horsetail from the beginning of my podcast career? I think that was like
I do remember that. No, you are definitely more squatchy than me. I'm Eastern European.
But yeah, no, it was. Yeah, I'm still adjusting, trying to like just get it all in and figure it out. But no, I definitely walked away with there going like, I would like to do like, if they'd have me like a speech, like like kind of, or a talk like kind of like what you did, just kind of like about what's going on. The other one that I had a good idea for that I'd like to do is like a cut sheet class, like to go up with like a poster of like either a pig broken down or like one of the pig charts or a beef chart, and walk up with my cut sheet.
Don't wait to do that as a presentation. Do that as a fucking YouTube video and also as a presentation, because yes,
yeah,
all of them: pig, beef, chicken. If you have, when you have your chickens, do it, because when I would take mine to the processor, there were so many different terms and processes that you could get done, and I was like, what do I want? And I don't even know. And I had cut up chickens myself before that. I was dumb. It was just, it's different.
It's different. Well, I'm doing kind of one. Yeah, Blakesley Acres. We just talked about that on the podcast. Yeah. So now seeing like the presentations live, I was like, oh, I can do this. Like, there's a way I can do this. But I'm actually doing a little bit of one this week. I'm cutting up my beef that's going in my freezer. So I'm doing a what does the butcher put in his freezer for cuts like video. Because what I do is 1,000 times, it's not 1,000 times, but it's drastically different than what normal people do for cut sheets, because most people don't understand how to read a cut sheet. And to be honest, it's because butchers don't make cut sheets for customers. We don't. My cut sheet is not made for a customer. My cut sheet is made for me to stand there with a clipboard, ask you what you want, and for me to fill it out so I can do this and look at the cut sheet while I'm cutting. So to be able to talk to people about what cuts they get and what like you can get out of your animal and what works for your family, I'm definitely doing YouTube video on it. It's tough.
Says roast tying too. So,
oh yeah, everyone was so excited about me tying roasts during that demonstration. I probably had 10 questions about that. I was like, oh, this is what you guys want to talk about?
There you go. Your questions that people ask, those are the videos you need to make.
I know.
If one person is willing to actually ask you in person, there's a million people that are scared to ask you and would search for a video on it.
Yeah. Rachel, I will never change. Never. Yeah, so I definitely want to get those videos out, but I definitely want to offer that next year. Whether we will definitely go to fall SRF again. Spring, I don't know. But I will talk to Nicole and offer that.
You have to have a path to make it break even or better.
And that's just it. And that's what we figured out. We spent some money to figure this out. The money that we probably really didn't have. But I look at this as an investment. Nicole, not so much. But again, it's figuring it all out and trying to make my way to making this make sense. Kind of is what I'm.
She gained a lot of family.
She absolutely did. And she said that. She's like, everyone was fantastic. Everyone was great. It was like, on the way home, I'm like, so do you still think I'm like as crazy as you did? She goes, I still think you're crazy, but not as crazy. Like, because it's an interesting thing to spring on someone, like when you're getting into the content game, because it's a borderline life change of like putting everything you can into your content, like, and trying to figure it all out. And again, like me, I edit everything a lot. So there is a lot of time with me sitting in this back room editing videos that it's like, you don't want to like hang out on the couch with me and watch this. And I'm like, yeah, but I gotta get this done, like kind of thing. So I get it. I completely understand. And she has been very, very patient and helped me out a lot and helped me figure some stuff out with it. Like, we did a lot of talking on the way home about it. About some.
I definitely feel bad for her that she had to spend 23 hours in a car with you after SRF.
Right?
Can you imagine? Can you imagine having to spend 23 hours with me in a car after SRF? You won't even answer.
No, it's so much. Like, yeah. And it was, we were about 3/4 of the way into the trip home. Or it was probably about halfway when I was finally just like done with being in the car, fully relaxed because I haven't moved in 12 hours. My body hurt so much that it literally felt like I ran a marathon of how tired I was from just running around talking with everyone. Because it's not like you're straining yourself, but it's a lot running around.
Well, that was from taking Jack's meat out of his trunk.
That is true. Well, I was a little sore from that, but it is what it is. You live and you learn.
He's in Effingham, New Hampshire.
Oh, sorry. Yes, Effingham, over by the main coast.
The main coast.
Are
you by the ocean?
We're about 2 hours. Yeah, so I did not mean main
You're
coast.
Closer to the northern border.
If you look, like if this is New Hampshire and up here is Maine, we are literally here. Like I can see Maine from my driveway.
Right, but I was talking north to south.
Yeah, I'm about two
halfway.
Yeah. So, but yeah, now it's cold up here. Now it's like we came back in full fall. Like past foliage season. Somehow we missed it in a weekend, and I'm so excited. Because
you missed all the tourists.
Yeah, we missed it all. I mean, we miss a lot of it up here anyway, just because we're in the Bermuda Triangle of New Hampshire. Nobody knows where we are at all. Most people don't even know Effingham's a town.
That's a good thing.
But yeah, it was. It's nice to be home. But
no,
yeah. Well, we're up here on an hour. Anything else?
Yeah, we are.
Any final words of wisdom you'd like to throw out there? Any reflections?
Man, I'm still processing it.
I do.
I mean, I've been walking the dogs. So the day after we got together with Becky and Tim before they went back to Canada and hung out at the property, recorded an hour episode, the four of us. And then Tuesday, what's today? Wednesday? I don't even know what fucking day
I don't even know what day it is. I think it's Wednesday. Yeah, it's Wednesday because Nicole works today.
So I didn't really get any time to think about a whole lot of stuff that day. Yesterday, all day, I was just like making connections. And I had a 2-hour consult appointment with somebody that was doing some work for me. And that was drawing parallels between that was really cool. There's a lot of synchronicity that comes out of events like that things you've been working on in parallels that you start putting together, and it's really cool to see them together, and the motivation and the eye-opening conversations you have just add to that. So that's what I take away, and that's what I'm still processing. It'll be through the week. Like I'm doing all kind of freestyle episodes. I did no show prep this week. I'm just talking about whatever's coming to mind because there's so much coming to mind. Yeah, it's if you want to be motivated, if you want to be stimulated, if you need a new perspective on things, or you just want to network with people, this event is one of a kind for that, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think the two biggest things that I need to take away is one, freeze-dried Skittles might be the greatest thing on the planet. Never had them before. Lost my mind. Like they are so goddamn good. And yeah, kind of just following what you said, just how amazing, like for networking and trying to figure out if you're really trying to better yourself and you're in this vein of not even saying content, but saying like
freedom oriented.
Freedom oriented. If you are a freedom oriented person, you need to get to SRF. and you need to talk to people because it's amazing. Like, yeah, they at one point, Nicole does basically a roll call where she'll just point at someone and go, "Where are you from?" and say, "Kansas." Okay, where is everyone from Kansas? Put your hand up. All right, you go sit next to them and talk after this. Like, it's awesome. It's an awesome thing. And I didn't mention it enough in this, how amazing Toolman Tim is in real life. He's the man.
Yeah, he's pretty larger than life, man.
I keep calling him my internet uncle, and it's like now I just feel like he's my real uncle. Like, I just love the man. I love the man to death. And it was just great to meet him and Becky in person, and just how amazing he is as a person. So I'm gonna wrap up on that. Yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed this impromptu SRF kind of recap. I knew if we did it any later, I already had a podcast scheduled for Saturday, and I knew if we got to this any later, we'd be missing stuff. So,
I'm sure we missed lots of stuff.
I'm sure we did. In fact, I know we did, and I know there's probably stuff we've left out on purpose, but it's been great. It's been great. So, everybody, I appreciate